My banner fell and I haven't fixed it yet. And yes, I know I wear this sweater a lot. I just love it so much, okay? And the second that it gets cool enough outside to wear a sweater, you best believe I've put this on. I also don't have any other sweaters really because they're all packed away in storage, so... On this Sunday evening, I went out to get gas, but since I was out anyways, I stopped at Half Price Books. And I was specifically going there for my current read, which is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. This is like one of the big ones, one of the big sci-fi books that, you know, people talk about all the time and people really love. And I mean, Andy Weir is like that author for sci-fi because there's also The Martian and Artemis. So I've been reading that. I'm over 50% through the audiobook. It is definitely dense and a lot of it just goes right over my head. That is not my field of interest. I am a history gal. I used to watch a lot actually of science space documentaries, but then I got really existential about it and it got overwhelmed, and you know what, it wasn't good, so I had to give up on that. Yeah, I've been reading more sci-fi recently. That's a big one in the genre, so I picked it up, and yeah, I've been enjoying it, even though yeah, it is very like, what the hell are you talking about? But I'm the kind of reader that I am. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I do have the problem where, you know, in world building or character building, I'm not paying attention too hard. I know a lot of people always have to like reference a glossary or a map. I'm not that. I just let it be. If it's important, they'll bring it up later again. I'll figure it out, you know, context clues. But I could see how this book would be harder for people to read who don't read like I do. But yeah, there's like millions of copies of that book out in the world, right? So I figured they would have it at Half Price Books, but they did not. They only had a few, or one of The Martian and a few of Artemis. So I didn't end up getting it, but I did, of course, don't never fear, end up getting some other books, plus 2 more that cannot fit in my hand. I got 2 of the Barnes & Noble Classics older editions. I got Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. As we know, I love to collect copies of Frankenstein, and these ones are so beautiful and aesthetic and very like and I also got Dracula, which actually I've never read Dracula and I don't really have much of a desire to, because I like, from what I've heard about it, I don't know, I guess maybe I need to be in the right headspace, right tone to read this. But I do, of course, love to collect copies of it because they're always beautiful, because vampires, and I know, yeah, I should read it because it's like one of the original vampires. I know Carmilla is the original, and I've read that, but anyways, I got another copy of Frankenstein, of course. This one, I think I'd seen it before, and I didn't remember why I didn't get it that time, but then I just realized it's because this is not a removable sticker, this Walmart sticker, which is kind of annoying, but I feel like I could make a sticker to cover that. But I just love the font and the way that like Frankenstein is. I just love, and then the blue and the orange, and of course the cover art. You know, I also got a Signet Classics edition of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, which I've never read before. I didn't even think about reading it. I have read a very, very weird smut of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, but one of my favorite books of all time is We Have Always Lived in the Castle, and whenever I look for different editions of it, I can never find any. But I found this. I nearly ordered this on eBay the other month, but good thing I didn't, because I found it for only $8. Yay. So happy. I feel like We Have Always Lived in the Castle could have such a good cover if it's like matched to the tone of the book, but I've never seen a cover that like truly represents the story. Let me know if you have. I'm so happy to have this. I love having copies of my favorite books, so I'm always looking for Shirley Jackson editions. I always look at Anne Rice because there's this very specific cover of either Interview with the Vampire or The Vampire Lestat. I cannot remember. I saw it a million years ago and I need to look it up. I need to do a deep dive research into finding the cover, but it was so gorgeous, and I think it was like metallic-y. I'm like on the hunt for it. I don't quite know what it looks like in my brain anymore because so much time has passed and I've never seen it again. I've only seen it once, but blah blah, you get it. Oh, and I also look for, of course, Frankenstein, and I feel like there might be another whatever, but anyways, the last book that I got is for my mom because I always like to get my mom books. We've been talking about Ernest Hemingway a little bit recently, so I got her The Sun Also Rises, which she's probably read before, but she could do with a reread, because I'm sure it was a million years ago. So those are the books that I purchased. Yay. I was going to actually gift this to a friend, but now that I've been looking at it, I kind of want to keep it. But no, I just got this copy of Frankenstein, and I have another copy of Frankenstein. No, I have 2. So anyways, these are my books, and I'm currently reading, what am I currently reading? Project Hail Mary, and I'm going to continue with that since I have the momentum going, because it's such like a beast of a book. It's quite dense, so I don't want to mess up the flow, or else I might have a hard time picking it up again. So I'm going to crochet because I'm working on my baby blanket for my nephew that was supposed to be done before he was born last year, October 23rd last year, and now it is basically almost October 23rd, a year later, and the blanket is still not done. Well, it could have been done, but then I was like, well, since I didn't finish it on time, I might as well just continue it and make it bigger. So I'm currently doing the bit to make it bigger. But the core of the blanket, which would have been okay for him when he was a baby, like newborn. Where was that sentence going? I don't know. I'm still working on the baby blanket. So should probably talk about Project Hail Mary. I really enjoyed that book. I gave it a 5 stars. Like I said, it was very technical, very sciencey. I think I saw somewhere that the author said he contacted a lot of, scientists and, specialists in their fields to like kind of fact check what he was writing about. But I kind of looked at this like a complete fantasy, and I was like, sure, I'll believe you. Like it was just any old fantasy. But I think if you do have any kind of background in science, you might be like hyper aware. But I enjoyed it. I can see how people would find it a little bit boring or a little bit hard to get through with all of the technical side, and it kind of goes on a bit, but I really liked how the story was told, and it's very different from what I normally read, so that also contributed to my enjoyment of it. Yeah, I really liked it. And do I want to watch the movie? I don't know, because the book is so like dense and complex that there's just, how are they going to do this well in a movie? And I haven't even read The Martian, but the Martian movie irks me sometimes. But I like watching that movie for some reason. I like space movies. Like Interstellar is one of my favorite movies of all time. Anyways, so yeah, I read that and I'm glad that I did. I'm now going to move on. I was going to continue with Volatile Memory because I put it down because I wanted an audiobook to listen to, but I cannot find the book. I don't know where the heck I put it in this apartment. I think it's probably in a bag somewhere because it's not on my shelf and it's not anywhere on my desk. Oh, I know where it is. It's on the windowsill in my kitchen. It's on top of my magazine. It's kind of behind the blinds. I already decided though that I want to crochet, but I don't have an audiobook to listen to. So I was like, let me get my Kindle out and set it up on my little Kindle tripod. It was frozen at first with the like weird ad of a book. It was like stuck on that screen and it wouldn't turn on. The light was blinking, so I plugged it in and then it finally changed to this. So I don't know. We'll see if that ever turns on. I just haven't read on my Kindle in a while because Kindle reading is kind of slow for me. I read the fastest on my phone, which is weird because I never used to use like Twitter or Tumblr that much back in the day because I hated reading on my phone. That's why I was always more of an Instagram girl, and I guess I still am. But I have 2 books on my Kindle that I borrowed from Kindle Unlimited. One is Potions and Prejudice, which is like a Pride and Prejudice retelling, but fantasy by T. Harlow. It seems like just a fun little story. And Loving a Vampire is Total Chaos by Aura Hayes. That one is a detective and vampire, golden retriever-esque vampire. So maybe one of those. I was thinking the vampire one, but I just hadn't remembered the Potions and Prejudice one. So I'll decide, but I have my hot chocolate that's already getting cold. It's hot chocolate season again, and I'm so happy about it. Although it's going to get up to the 90s this weekend, so that's a bit upsetting, but it's fine. Well, it's not fine, but fall is imminent, so, it's a little bit more bearable. Anyways, so I have been making good progress on the freaking baby blanket extra piece. I somehow made exactly half, well, plus the corners, but then I don't know what I want to do with the corners yet, so I'm just making the other 25 and I'm just chugging along. I do still have some yellow bits, but I kind of go by color, do all of the yellows, then all the browns, then all of the whites, but then I did some whites just now. So anyways, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna hope my Kindle turns on, or else I'm gonna have to read off my phone, which I just want to use my Kindle today for some reason. I don't know. But that's my evening. Thanks for joining.